Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we demand that the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade look at what it did 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Gerald Christopher St. Ambrose, patron saint of beekeepers and geese. Actually, Pete, do you know another name for a beekeeper?
Oh boy, no.
Tommy?
I'm going to recognize it when you say it.
I know, I am too.
Yeah, I know. It is. It's an apiarist.
Oh, that wasn't what I was...
I wasn't
no,
gonna, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Apiarist.
Yeah,
You made that
I
up.
wasn't going to say that because it just exposes my lisp.
See, I always thought that was one of those cages at the zoo, like where the apes live.
Oh, yeah.
No, that what? An apiary is where they keep bees.
Yeah, I would have missed that on a quiz.
Yeah.
It's like the cousin to the aviary where the birds hang.
That's why I thought apiary. Like,
Oh, the birds and the gorillas are chilling.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, then the bird one would be the
Okay.
birdiary.
The bird.
If the ape one was the apiary. Oh, my God.
That's right. That's right. Porter.
Oh, hello there. I'm Hal Lublin. I didn't notice you, but I'm here now. I'm definitely not entirely made of bees.
We appreciate that. We said, who do we know who's not made of bees who we could have on the show?
Definitely
And
not
your
me.
name was at the top of the list.
Yeah, it's on my birth certificate. Definitely not a mass of bees in clothing. Not at all. I move and talk just like you. I mean, we humans do.
Right. It's a totally legit and valid illusion.
So what would you do if
reality.
you're made out of bees, and then you do that Guinness Book of World Records stunt where you make the bee beard?
Oh.
What happens?
You win automatically because you're like, look, I am the beard.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm all
Yeah.
bees. I'm also a
I
beard.
am the bee beard.
I'm a beard.
Why? We all know that, right? From the 70s and 80s, the Guinness
Yeah.
Book of World Records, and So why the hell would that be its own record? Like, I could see if it was something like, the guy wore the most bees, or he befriended the most bees. So,
Yeah.
but a bee beard?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like the, I don't know what the word is, thickest, most lush, whatever bee beard, like he had the most bees?
Yeah.
But why a
There
beard?
must have been some superlative to it. I don't know. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. a
That's
good
all I'm
question.
saying. Why did it like he lived in the same house with
Yeah.
the most bees?
Yeah.
Or
I was
he's
the longest
loved the
fingernails
most
man
bees.
myself.
I like the two twins that had to ride the little scooters because they were too heavy to walk.
Yeah. And they want most scooter rides. They have the record for that.
Yeah.
It was the two heaviest twins.
Yeah.
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 Good for them.
Anyway, that's me.
Good for us. Yeah, we got Hal here. Welcome back, Hal. You were with us back in India riding on elephants to
That's
Pancom
right.
Palace.
I'm so glad to be out of Temple of Doom. Not that I don't love it, but to be into Last Crusade. I don't know. Was this discussed, the fact that I was supposed to be here for the last episode and I wasn't?
We were just, suspiciously guestless.
Here's some inside baseball for everybody. I was supposed to be at minute 49, and your good old Uncle Hal, he put the wrong time in his calendar and then didn't get home from work until 20 minutes after it started. And I even got a 5-minute grace period from Tom, which was very nice. And you allowed me to come back and repent for my shame here in minute 95. And I do thank you all for your mercy.
Oh, we're just glad you're here.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete, we got to cut out all the stuff that we were like just cussing out Hal last minute. Okay.
We also need to let him know
What?
it was minute 49.
What's that? My bee ears can't hear you very well. I mean, human ears, not made of bees.
Nothing. Everything's fine. No. We're actually just very pleased and glad to have you here. For minute 95. Minute 95 of Last Crusade begins with Vogel stomping on Indy's hand to get him off the gun barrel, and it ends with D-Day getting shot in the head.
Thank you, Tommy.
You're welcome. That's canon now. That guy's D-Day.
Sure.
We didn't discuss who was going to go first. Oh, well. I just have a note here that Marcus has become Fidget from Time Bandits. He's like he's just kind of lost all grounding in sense, and he's like either drunk or just like something has snapped. He's just like, look at what you've done, and like his kind of arm is kind of going like not in sync with what he's saying or anything, and he's having a tough time.
But is that the same thing that Henry said to Indy when he killed the guy in the castle? Basically, yeah. So I mean, they really have turned like it is now Indy and Henry, but it's Henry's Indy and Marcus is Henry.
But I mean, was he makes it sound like someone's going to have to clean up this mess.
Yeah, right.
Like we're going to have to now sweep the desert.
That truck is not going to run again.
I ask you is like how am I supposed to come away? What am I supposed to believe about Marcus after a line like that? Like he doesn't understand what's going on, and that's why Henry says to him, "We're at war."
I feel like we've already seen at this point just the earlier moment of him lost in the marketplace, and like this idea that he's gone from like he's very smart when he's at the university, but as soon as you take him out of there, he becomes the dumbest, most oafish person you can possibly imagine. Like all of his life experience and knowledge serves him nowhere else but in the hallowed halls of the college where he works. And and this is like again like he's in a tank in the middle of a chase. There are guns everywhere, and his good friend and associate is about to be killed. And he's like completely unaware of all of it.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, but that's what's. I can understand if he doesn't know how to fire the tank turret, or maybe he doesn't know how to load the gun or cock it back or something, or steer the tank, or maybe he has a little bit of trouble opening the tank latch.
Right.
But this is just like a cognition.
Right.
That like
he doesn't know where he is.
It's like he hasn't watched the movie.
Yeah, you're in an adventure movie, Marcus. Just go with it.
Yeah,
you're having fun.
It might be confusing to him because Henry's kind of like a Scarecrow and Mrs. King character because you keep thinking he's this doddering old guy, but in the end, he's like the most bloodthirsty killer of them all when he blows up that truck.
Is that the second time Scarecrow and Mr. King has come up on
It is,
show?
yeah.
That's amazing. I've never seen that show, but I know just enough to kind of get the reference. It's got Tron in it. That's all I know.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, he has kind of dropped the he's dropped the pretense of this point of being like averse to killing. Mm-hmm. Like he'll use his umbrella to kill a pilot.
Yeah.
By scaring birds.
Well,
or he'll pull the trigger on a tank. Like, at that point, you see he is actually a good dad. Like, he does care for his son. He's trying to save his life. Or he's trying to save himself. He does not care about Marcus. Marcus is too dumb. He's got to leave Marcus. He knows they're in a crisis situation, and Marcus is like, how does breathing work again? So he's already discounted him. He's just got to get himself and his son out.
I think where you started going with that might save this entire movie, Hal, because you said that. So what if this movie went on a little bit longer and we just don't see the very end? But now Marcus drops the pretense at the end, and he has to save Sala, and you turn out that Marcus is a cold-blooded killing machine. Infinite regression.
Look at what you did, Marcus.
He's like Jason Bourne. He just needs to be activated.
Yeah.
See, I think it's funny that maybe the umbrella was a gateway weapon.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets him started. Yeah. It starts like that. Maybe something that's doesn't really appear to be loaded or cocked.
Yeah.
So you spring it open now all of a sudden.
Yeah, because he goes from being completely aghast and almost Marcus-like here when Indy guns down those Nazis in the castle.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe what you did. And then he's just kind of mildly displeased when he's jousting guys and knocking them off of motorcycles and stuff. And now and then he killed some guys with a killed a pilot with a umbrella.
He was giddy
And,
after that.
was
He
kinda-
was skipping along the beach and grinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? In those, like, I feel like Henry is incredulous. But he's not upset that he did it. It's not like, I can't believe the mess you made. He's like, oh my God, you just killed a man. But he's not saying like, shame.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? He's sort of just expressing disbelief at what he just witnessed.
Right.
Right.
Now, look, the grimaces after the jousting and stuff, and the pipe and the whatever, the pipe and the stick and the motorcycle, those are a little weird.
Well, he grinned after the joust, so he
grinned after the joust. Some of the Nazi deaths are a little strange. You're like, well, why is he so disapproving? But this one, that you kind of think, I don't know. You're like, well, a father-son dynamic. This is, like I said, I wouldn't trust or believe or listen to anything that's going on in Marcus's head or coming out of his mouth forevermore.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much of the Grail diary do you think would be admissible in court during the murder trials later, where they discover, like, some of it is historical context and how to defeat the challenges that will come up later, but some of it is probably like, I had the dream again, where I pull the trigger and an entire truck explodes, and that's after I've used I'm not the killer if the birds do the murdering. I'm the good guy. I am the lover of the birds. I am the father of the birds. I am the master of the birds.
They just tell me where to fly.
Yeah.
The court's going to read the diary. They're going to open it up, and they're going to be, sure, Hitler signed this. Sure, Hitler signs diaries like a 4-year-old girl. That's exactly the signature he used.
Look at the heart over the eye in Hitler.
This never comes up again, but apparently every finger in Indy's right hand is broken now. Right? After he gets slammed in it with a shovel.
I always hate
and then
when
his
that
wrist
happens.
a few minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Indy's I assume we don't see him use that hand for the rest of the movie, right?
No. So you know what? This is good old fashioned gritty Indy violence.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting, and I can't complain about powder puffery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, this is it's actually it's difficult to watch.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. A shovel.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, and
Don't
his
do that,
fingers.
Mr. Nazi, stop it. You're gonna hurt somebody.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
That's mean.
I am just going to say this, and I'm going to ask you, Pete. Can you, being the smart, you're essentially Mo.
You're going to say I'm essentially Marcus.
This whole thing inside the tank, I don't follow it. Maybe I'm Marcus. I don't know what's going on. What like the driver is screaming derangedly,
Uh-huh.
and he's speaking to no one, and I don't understand what he's doing. Can you just make sense of this?
I think the driver's a man that really enjoys his work. Because every time they cut to him, he's got a giant grin on his face, and he's just kind of bouncing along.
Yeah.
And I think he's just having the time of his life.
He's listening to Born to Be Wild in his headphones that you can't see. He's having a blast.
It's not Louie because he's D-Day.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it totally is. Yeah.
He's listening to Otis Day in the Nights while he tries to kill a man.
Like in his mind, this is exactly what the commercials were like. Join the army.
Yeah.
And he's like,
see the world. Shoot some guys.
See the world, and he's like, this is perfect.
I'm being all I can be.
Yeah. He's an army of one, all right.
Yeah. One
It's like
tank.
sitting there.
Yeah.
I don't. Another question.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't the entire convoy just stop?
I've wondered that several times.
That's a good
They,
question,
they,
actually.
they have no place to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And if the tank stops, Indy has nowhere to go. Like the tank moving is the only thing keeping him alive.
That'd be so awkward. Can you picture that? If everything just stopped. And then it's like, all right, get up, you. You've had it. You're under arrest.
They could stop and it'd just be like, brrr, brrr, brrr.
Yeah.
That's the end.
So much
Well,
for
don't
that
they-
Indiana
There it is.
Jones.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately they need them later on, but at this point, there are a lot of things that could be solved in any of these Indiana Jones movies if the villains just stopped for a second, took a deep breath, and went, "Hey, why don't we just kill these people one at a time? It'll be way easier than spreading. I got my big muscular guy just got crushed by that rock smasher. Mola Ram was a terrible leader, just poor organizational skills. We're just seeing that up and down the chains of command all over these Indiana Jones films.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cutting off your nose to spite your face going on with these guys.
Yeah.
Hey, can I direct everybody to second 9 for a second of this minute?
Yeah.
Sure.
Second 9, I think there's bird poop on Indy's hat. On the brim of his hat.
Oh, yes, I saw that. I have it.
Oh, yeah.
Indy has bird poop on his hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I don't think it means
So
anything.
noted.
No, I think it's great.
I just wanted it on the
But
record.
that could, I was going to say that would make sense because, of course, maybe it came from the beach scene, that
Oh yeah.
murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look, I don't think it's there at the very, very beginning of the minute. And then while Vogel actually steps or shovels Indy's hand, the bird must poop on his head too. I think it's a double
His day
whammy.
gets worse.
Yeah, it because it appears a little bit later. It appears right after he does a little finger crunching.
Right. Well, Jared, like you said, I'm a little confused about what's going on inside the tank because the driver's acting weird. But like, how many people are in the tank besides Henry and Marcus?
He
knocked
think
out
there
the
were
one guy with the pen.
Well,
I have
he
no
murdered the guy
idea.
by ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other guy,
Right.
there's still the other guy in there holding Marcus captive.
The guy who was he the guy who got hit on the head by the periscope handle?
I believe
right.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wait, the guy who grabs Henry as they're heading up the stairs, he's not the ink in the face guy who's come to his senses. He's shaking off the ink. Poison.
Oh,
it is.
no,
actually. I'm looking at
it is.
now. He's
Yeah,
got
you're
ink
right.
on
Yeah,
his
it
face.
is.
Yeah.
And he wiped the ink off his eye, right?
Yeah. So he can see
I think
to
he has
murder.
like a shadow of ink.
What happened to the guy who was pinning down Marcus with his limp arm?
Marcus ate him, I guess.
Yeah.
It did look like Marcus bit his arm when he had it there. It's kind of a weird.
That would be a Marcus move
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
movie.
He thought it was a sandwich. Actually, he wasn't even trying to save himself. He was like, I like hoagies. And then he took a bite of it. And
I won't drink water, but I'll eat arms.
Tastes like purple.
I couldn't keep that straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, here's another one that I thought was weird. What's Indy trying to do when he's pulling up on the strap? When he's stuck on that gun outside? Is he trying to get off of the gun or is he trying to pull himself up?
I think now he's having the idea we had before of like, hey, just get off this thing and go run away from this tank that's about to kill you. Like just get off and then get on again because it's not that fast. Yeah, so I think he's trying to like break the cord, the impossibly strong, it seems, purse handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question about that. Is that his satchel that holds the Sankara stones?
I was wondering about
He
that
must
too.
have had it
Yeah.
repaired, yeah.
I think this one is leather and that one was cloth. I think he probably he was like, well, if I get more Sankara stones, they'll just burn through the cloth satchel. Wait, excuse me, Mr. Bagateer, what sort of bag do you have that can withstand the heat of a sacred Indian stone?
I'm actually not a bagateer. Just because I dress like a bagateer doesn't mean I'm a bagateer.
Bagateer, please, I need your finest stone-resistant bag. I haven't time to dilly. I am an archaeologist.
Well, I have always wondered what on earth, like why you would have a luggage store in the airport, but now it makes sense. Like Indy, he's his bag had a hole in it, so when he gets to the airport, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna get this bag."
Yeah, or you just base it on where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to a place with burning rocks. I need a leather bag. Or, I'm going to a place where the bad guy's going to have to see through my bag to see what I'm carrying. I need like a clothy kind of thing.
But what do you do when you buy a bag at the airport? Like, are you carrying all of your stuff through security loose? And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to buy this big suitcase.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
I have seen that before. At LAX, I watched a guy do what I thought was a silent movie comedy act when he went through and the metal detector went off and the series of things he pulled out from his jacket and
Oh my God.
sweatpants were included a full newspaper. But it was like a bag of pennies, a hanger, Zach Morris's phone, 3 blintzes. Like that guy needed to buy. He's probably like, I'll just wait till I get to the airport and then I'll buy a bag that's made specifically for crazy people to carry their things.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
People are
I have no
insane.
idea. Or maybe it's like, they don't let you take your water bottle.
So you just buy like
Right.
300 water
The
bottles and
suitcase.
fill up the suitcase
Yeah, or
when you
just-
buy it.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Yeah.
just maybe you love your water, man.
Yeah.
You buy the suitcase and you put one water bottle in there and ship it.
But they sell, like, you can buy an entire set. So, like, you go through security.
No, I know. I
yeah.
have
and
no
you
idea.
can buy 6 suitcases at once.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you're right. You're like, hey, what's the one time and the one place that you're at where you have a suitcase?
Yeah. Oh, you know what it might
The
be
airport.
for? It might be
Yeah.
for those people who in movies just go like, I need the first flight to anywhere. Like they're just there to like escape. And so they need luggage for like part of their cruise.
Now that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need the
That'll
first
work.
flight to anywhere. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is. People who they're not at home, like they're coming from the airport and they're coming from like say, Pelican Bay Prison,
Yeah.
or the what was it, Dr. Tooth's Magical Train or whatever, whatever from the beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah.
What was it called?
A magic
Dr. Fantasy's Magical Caboose.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like if you
Sanatorium.
you're coming from the police station straight to the airport.
Also, if you run that store, you have to have an employee there whose job it is to go around breaking people's luggage.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
they go,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
no. So it looks like somebody
My
slashed your
strapper.
duffel bag open. Come over here. We've got fresh ones.
Either that or you just have somebody who looks really cool just stand there and look disapprovingly at everybody's luggage. So you walk by and you're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
your
this
yeah.
bag.
suitcase isn't so good.
Yeah.
James Dean lookalike.
Well, have you saw
Yeah.
Pete, you saw my suitcase, right? You've seen it, the one with all the flowers on. it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a beautiful sort of turquoise floral design,
It makes me happy
and
to
I
look
get
at.
I get comments all the time, and the best part of it is A, it was on sale, and
Do tell.
B, like I come up I descend whatever airport it is, and it's like, oh my God, there's 6 different conveyor belts with suitcase. Oh, there's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Like the dumbest thing you can do is have a black suitcase.
I was gonna say I have a black one and I have a red one. So it's useless
Well,
both ways.
burn the black one.
Yeah. No, the red one's useless too.
I saw a lady that had a suitcase that had her picture, like she'd somehow had a graphic artist put her picture in, like her suitcase was just a giant picture of her face.
Wow.
That's hilarious. So if you're walking around and if it gets stolen,
Yeah.
there's somebody sitting there go, alarm!
I think that's my suitcase.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Oh.
This is before the plastic surgery.
Right.
Now I look like
I
this.
gotta
This
get
is
some
my
luggage
bag.
now.
You racist.
It's hilarious.
This pays off more next minute, but I have to say it now. Marcus saves the lives of Henry and Indiana Jones in this minute.
Yeah.
Our doddering buddy Marcus, who we've all had a hard time with in this movie, and we want to see him do great, and we want better things from him. We want him to be the cool Roger Moore of this movie. And in this minute, he is. He clobbers the guy with I guess that's the shell from from one of the guns.
Yeah.
And he clobbers the guy, which has the Rube Goldberg effect of the guy fires off his gun, it ricochets, hits the driver. The driver then steers away. Oh, yeah, this happens next minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. But he saves Indy and he saves Henry.
Yeah.
Our buddy Marcus.
Yeah.
He earned that giant lollipop
Yeah.
he's eating last minute.
Well, what I think is really funny is he's just so gangster, ice cold about it.
Yeah.
Because he waits. He actually waits before he bludgeons the Nazi.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no, I want you to see who cudgels you
He
before.
wants to look in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lights go out.
exactly.
Well, then afterwards, he stares him right in the face. Yeah. Like he stops and looks at him. He's like, I want to
Yeah.
see what I just did.
And then a deep mouth kiss. That part seemed a little bit too much. Like, we got it. You are dominant and in charge. Please leave him alone.
Exactly. He's made his point.
It's a little funky. I'm not gonna say it's like I do think it's funny. He's kind of sitting there and he's waiting for the guy to stare him right in his.
Oh, I think it's
right in his
great.
his bursar's office eyes.
You won't be matriculating this year, thunk.
I'm surprised he didn't say that. Jesus, or something like talk about shell shock.
Not enough credits. Yeah. I think it's funny though. Like last minute, we got the low point of Marcus, and then already we're just sort of starting to get, like, for me anyway, like glimmers of the Marcus I want to see in this movie.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
It's both satisfying and frustrating because it's not quite there.
I feel a little queasy just because it's so like all over the map. I don't know. Like, it's very disorienting.
Yeah. Right.
Well, look, I'm Marcus sitting there, like, just sort of sitting there resting and watching Henry get punched in the face and strangled, and the Nazi, the deranged driver, D-Day, walking around. I'm not exactly giving Marcus a passing grade here.
It's on a curve, Jerry.
I understand. It's on a curve.
Everything has happened before now. You got to take it all in.
I mean, it's that he's sitting there, completely sitting there. It's really weird. And the only thing is, we're just lucky that that D-Day happens to be like the Nazi version of Marcus, where he's just eccentric and deranged and nuts, and he has no idea what's going on, and he's talking to nobody. He's having a great time doing it.
Well, you do have to grade the entire body of work, and I feel like his low point might happen at the end of the film. I'm not to jump minutes, but you'll see. You'll see him do something that no doubt he grew up learning how to do, and completely botch it.
Yeah.
So like he's one step up and two steps back. Just that's the story of his life.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it sounds like, Hal, you are. Well, I don't know. Pete's had I don't know. Pete, have you had an easier time with Marcus than me and Jerry?
I did until a couple
are you
minutes
kidding?
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But Hal, it sounds like you are struggling with this too, that you had a Marcus who you loved and something weird happened to him.
It is a hard 180 from where the character originally started in Raiders. That is for sure. Yeah. And this is definitely like, as the movies go on, you see Spielberg playing a lot more. There's more comedy in Temple of Doom than there is in Raiders. Not that there's no comedy there. And then this one, he's like full on. He's got the best balance going, but I think it comes at the expense of Marcus as a character. Mm-hmm. Even Sala too is a little bit. He's a little bit more oafish.
Right.
Like everybody's just a little bit less competent than they were before. And I'm not sure that it needed to be that way to still squeeze the comedy out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's my frustration too, is that it okay, have fun, let it be funny. Well, Marcus is a fish out of water. We get it. He's more at home in his leather chair at home, or in his office at a museum. But that doesn't mean he has to be, doing cartwheels and flinging poo and, just being a complete just bumbling weirdo.
Yeah.
Didn't have to be that way. Oh well.
How do the controls work on this tank? Because Vogel yells at the driver to drive into the wall, and he jams those controls so far it seems like they would have to drive directly into the wall, but they turn like a very minuscule degree.
Yeah. Well, I guess tanks aren't known for their agility.
Yeah,
They're
maybe.
No, but it does. I mean, it does. It turns on a dime.
Oh yeah, it will in a minute.
Previously, it's like it's beautiful, wonderfully agile tank.
We got some more nice hand acting from Vogel in that moment too.
Oh
he's
yeah,
just like, you don't know what he's saying, but you know what he's saying, because he's like, make this hand go into this hand, but this hand's the tank and this hand's the wall. You know what I'm trying to say?
I think Indy approaching the Rock is one of the scariest things in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Harrison Ford is so amazing acting with his face.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true.
and I love the fact that he gets stuck on the cannon with the bag.
Yeah.
That
I like
really
that.
creeps me out. It makes perfect sense. You're like, now
Yeah.
that right there is life.
I like that it's that cannon. It's the one that he busted
Yeah.
with the rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's just
That's fun
it's
for some
real
reason.
life. And so, well, my question is, so did it get stuck when he originally fell? He just didn't know it until he kind of fell a little bit further?
Yeah, it must have been.
That has to be the physics of it, right? He
Right.
hasn't been out past the turret, like not the
gun.
rifle, the gun. Thank
Yeah.
you, the gun.
Boomstick.
What is the thing? The big
The
tube.
boomstick.
What do they call that thing?
Cannon, a gun,
The
a
Gun,
turret?
tank gun.
tank gun.
The barrel.
Oh, the barrel.
Yeah, the
That's
barrel.
the word I was
Oh,
thinking
okay.
of.
Oh,
Thank
sure,
you.
sure,
Yes.
sure.
Now you make sense.
There is a great element to Indiana Jones action sequences that is the reason, one of the many reasons why Kingdom of the Crystal Skull did not work for me is that it's always like 40% skill and 60% luck. Like the fact that he falls,
right.
He created, he was able to disable the tank somewhat, but also he didn't plan for his strap to be hung around the barrel, but it winds up saving him from going under the tank treads, and keeps him
Yeah.
alive when he might have otherwise been dead.
Yeah.
But also is the thing that traps him. Like there's so much that idea of the dumb lucky encounters is one of the things that I enjoy so much. Is that you don't know in any given sequence if he's going to find his way out of something or if fate is going to get him out of it.
Right.
And this whole
Yeah.
sequence is a really good example of all those things working really well together.
Oh, totally.
And by fate, I think we mean Yahweh.
I knew you were going to say that.
Of course, yes.
Just let it be an action movie where
Who else
stuff
would we
happens,
talk
Joe.
about?
It's crystal clear.
It's crystal skull clear.
Oh no.
I would like to say though, the sound design in these minutes is just beautiful, and there's
Yeah.
like the zipping sounds when that bullet ricochets around the place, and I think Spielberg came back to that with Saving Private Ryan, and he used it to an incredible effect in that movie. And I think he's like Ben Burt, whatever he did here was really fantastic.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a genius.
Yeah,
Hey, I think this Indy heading for the rock thing, isn't this also sort of a Solo fever dream moment? Because doesn't Chewbacca go through this exact thing in the Solo?
Oh yeah.
Spoilers.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's transferring the events of his buddy's life into his own dream.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's how in tune they are. They're in the same danger. Even a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. They're
Makes me want to
there
cry.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
It's a real friendship. That's a real friendship, guys.
It is.
We can cry at that. It's okay to have feelings.
I'm comfortable in my tears. I feel like, Hal, we should just ask you to please read all your notes for minute 94 because I feel bad that you missed 94. Just read all your notes, just straight
Oh,
through.
gee, I love these 2 minutes just as a whole. I love the entire sequence of him trying to escape, getting his fingers it's just all so good. I was excited when I saw that these were the minutes that I was covering. I love this film in total.
Yeah.
It is my second favorite of the 3 movies I recognize as Indiana Jones films. And it's very close to, I think you can make an argument for it being your favorite over Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I would not begrudge that
Right.
to you.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
people
this,
do.
Yeah.
This is another great, it's just solid sequence after solid sequence. Everything in the castle is great, but this in particular is a really good. I remember seeing this in the theater. I remember going in this particular sequence and how exciting it was. And these were particularly the most exciting parts of it because you really have no sense as an audience member of how he's going to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And they do a really good job. Spielberg is so faithful to those Perils of Pauline type serials that these are based on. And this is a great example of heightening and heightening and heightening and heightening the danger and the possibility of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm enjoying this sequence even more as we're doing it this. Like it's usually doing this minute by minute beats any enjoyment of the movie out of me. But this sequence, I think, has gotten better by because you can slow down and see oh, that's why he's on the tread. Oh, that's how Henry fell over that way.
Right.
Right.
You got to see what's going on for the most part and really appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, beautiful. Well, do we have anything else for minute 95?
Well, yes, certainly. Of course.
Do we?
What
do you mean?
Well, not right yet. No,
Oh.
It's nothing. It's actually silent over here.
Oh.
Okay.
Up, something's coming alive.
Oh my God.
Yes, all right. Bird poop and all. Yeah, it's messing up the machine. This just in from Professor Christy Porter. Oh, a good question. Is Henry glad Marcus is there?
Yeah, he is. He loves
No.
Marcus.
No, he's
Yes,
not.
he is.
No,
yes,
I don't
he
think
is.
he is.
No, he's
excited
not.
to see him. He's
No, I
excited
don't
to be
think he is.
rescuing him.
He gets
Yes.
to showboat a little bit.
I'm with you, Hal.
Yeah.
I like this. We're gonna do shirts and skins. You guys are skins.
Oh, please.
I like this even better now. Can I go put on a second shirt?
I don't know.
Well, why not? Why is he not? Why is he not pleased?
He's a pain in the ass. He doesn't understand what's going on. Marcus has to, or Henry has to explain everything to him. And he's, Henry is trying to live.
But you don't think Henry loves explaining everything to him?
Yeah, and that he gets to be the
No,
Indiana Jones
he's-
to Marcus.
Yeah.
No, I know that part's nice, but I think that he's, he's exasperated. He's like, what?
Well, no, he is.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
mean he's,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they did the
He
whole
barks
kitty,
at his
save
good
our old
friend.
resuscitation, whatever thing. They're
Yeah.
he's his old buddy. They're
Yeah, I
excited
think
to
he's
see
happy.
each other.
Look, there's no doubt he is the weak link in this particular triumvirate that's trying to make their way through these minutes. And he is such,
Right.
Yeah.
even to the point where Indiana Jones has to bluff about how good he is at blending into a crowd. Like, they all know who he is. And not that he isn't valuable and that they don't like him, but he's not the guy you want by your side. And even though he does save them, it's luck. He doesn't know that if he hits him, that the bullet, he could have very easily have, does he have that strong of a swing? I don't know. It's just
can
enough
chalk it
to
up
throw
mostly
him
the
off the
weight
he
of the
can't
thing,
get
maybe.
he can't.
Yeah.
He can't get a dead guy off of him.
Not even a dead guy. A dead guy's arm, like his wrist.
Yeah,
It's like a weighted blanket, just
Yeah.
keeping him in place. Probably fell asleep for a second.
Well, we can't go on and on about Marcus. We've been going on
Man.
about him for 20, 30 minutes of this movie.
No, we had a nice little rest period from
We did.
the Marcus Waters. Yeah,
You hated him from day one in this movie,
well, they
Jerry.
keep bringing him back.
I know. I'm still looking for
they-
glimmers of hope, though. I think that you guys are going to think I'm nuts, but I'm seeing little glimmers of hope in the next few minutes, maybe. We'll see.
Sure, I'm
We'll try.
open. I'm open. I'd love a glimmer of hope. I'd ride it to happiness.
That's what rebellions are built on.
Bring your flower, bring your flower suitcase as you ride that rainbow of hope and love. Well, Hal, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad we squeezed you in for minute 95. I'm sorry you missed 94, but it sounds like you're getting the full experience anyway in your heart.
Is absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for having me back. And yes, I will always carry minute 94 in my heart. I'll go light a candle for it after this.
Beautiful. And people who want to find you elsewhere, you've got some excellent shows going on. Why don't you tell the people what they are and where to find them?
Well, thank you. I currently host 3 different podcasts. One is called We Got This with Mark and Hal, my partner Mark Gagliardi and I, who have been on the show together during the Temple of Doom.
That's right.
We settle dumb topics that you never realized you cared as much about as you do when we first bring it up. You will have a very strong opinion, whether it's the shape of a pretzel or whether you put ketchup on a hot dog, Star Wars, Star Trek. We have done Best Indiana Jones Film. But you can find all of that at WeGotThisPodcast.com. I also host Tights and Fights, which is a weekly wrestling show, also on Maximum Fun. That is with my friends Daniel Radford and Open Mike Eagle. And you can already listen now to the first few episodes of Good Morning Night Vale, which is a Welcome to Night Vale recap podcast that I'm hosting
Nice.
for the Night Vale Presents Network, along with my friends Meg Bashwinter and Symphony Sanders. We are going episode by episode. We've got inside information, interviews with people behind the show who are behind that show, including ourselves. We answer questions from fans. It's a really, really good time, and that is you can find that at nightvalepresents.com.
I can't wait for
Oh,
that
it's
one.
fantastic. Wow, you're busy, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing the world this and yourself.
Well, thank you. I thank you. You can find me at Hal Lublin on all social media everywhere for all time. Find me. Say hello.
Awesome. And please say hello to us. Come visit us at indianajonesminute.com, where you can find all our episodes and all our links to our Patreon group, where you can sign up there, support the show, get our bonus weekend show, Anything Goes, get stickers, get postcards. It's a whole party over there. And please join us back here next week on Monday for minute 96 of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Hey, do you guys think that death will be? Come on, you got it.
No, we don't.
Stones?
Postponed?
How are we supposed to get postponed? How do we just naturally know postponed? These are getting a little strange, Jerry.
I like that he assumed we got it. Like he assumed we were all going to yell that in unison.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you guys pay attention to the show? That's why I'm laying down golden breadcrumbs here.
Oh, no.
Like that's like yellow snow, Jerry.
Yeah, really.